what up, everyone? This is the Shorty Logic podcast. We always come back with some heavy hitters. I am Shorty Logic, and here are my co-hosts. Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing? This is Bless. Hope everybody's doing all right. Not hungover from all that turkey.
I know it's real. What's good, everybody? Some sugar in the building. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah. So, anyway, how everybody Thanksgiving was?
I hope it was delicious.
Yeah, my Thanksgiving, mine was good too. I did a lot of cooking. I did all the cooking, matter of fact, all the cooking. But I actually had them, I ain't even gonna front. I had them eat the night before. I cooked so much stuff, I didn't have nowhere to put it. I was like, y'all gonna have to start eating this stuff. So we ate the night before. I'm horrible. But it was great.
Okay. So we got our topic tonight is pretty interesting. It's gonna be pretty interesting to talk about. The topic is, why do people choose to live in chaos and insanity? Okay. So let's go around and see before we start some videos. When we talk about chaos and insanity, what do that means to you all when the people choose that? Either one, it don't even matter.
Go ahead, Bless.
I would have to say my opinion of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results as it's meant to be. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the definition of insanity, because we all do it. I've been in relationships where I know it's no good for me. It may not be good for me or to me, but then it's like, for whatever reason, I'll go back and revisit it again. Like, well, maybe it was something I did, or maybe it'll be different, or maybe it was just, it wasn't the right time. So maybe we need to just go back and do it again. So, I mean, I can't even really give you a straight answer as to why we do it. I feel like everybody does it for different reasons. I also feel like it could have something to do with your upbringing. What you was told to do, stand by your man. We've been hearing songs like that. We were trained that way. We were taught that way. So at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of us women, anyway, I can't speak for men, but a lot of us women, we deal with a bunch of BS and we take the punches sometimes. And it's like, even when we know we shouldn't, we do. I don't know if it could be a low self-esteem issue for some. It can be just looking for love for others, or never had that type of love in your life. So you just feel like, well, maybe this person loves me, just how they show it. It's like we make excuses for people. So at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of us go back for different reasons.
I can see that. You trust me, Lord. Everything you said is like, that's what people do. I mean, people have different terminology for it, but end of the day, it always come back to is people keep trying to do the same thing, think they're gonna do different results. Like you said, it could be from your trauma, anything like that. What you got in mind, Miss Shug?
I also think it comes from people trying. I'm not even gonna say trying. I believe sometimes people misplace loyalty, because they stay with these people because they want to keep proving themselves. To have the need to feel like you have to prove yourself over and over again is something that people get accustomed to. So I think they stay with insanity sometimes as well because of loyalty. They feel like if they stay loyal, no matter what they go through, that eventually they will change that person that they're with, or the friend that they have, or whatever. And that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just placing yourself for somebody else's sanity, and it's driving you crazy. Right. So, and loyalty could be a delusional place to be in.
A double-edged sword, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm about to put up, I end up looking it up. I'm gonna put it up so everybody can see it, but also I'm gonna play the video with it. But it's kind of choppy, but I try to do the best I could. So listen in. First, I'm gonna put it up so people can see that part. So I'm gonna give people a little second just to kind of look at it right quick. Then also, it's the same thing, but I got it also in the video. All right, so I'm ready to go down to the video for that, because it's gonna basically what it's doing is gonna read off of it what we just looked at.
Okay.
So y'all work with me.
Variety of reasons, including past experiences of instability or trauma, a desire for excitement or adrenaline, a sense of comfort in the familiar unpredictable, a lack of coping mechanisms for managing order, or even a subconscious need to feel alive. by actively seeking out chaotic situations. This is sometimes referred to as a chaos addiction. Key points about choosing chaos. Childhood experiences. Growing up in a chaotic environment can lead individuals to feel more comfortable in similar situations later in life. Emotional regulation. Some people might use chaos as a way to avoid dealing with difficult emotions or situations. Adrenaline rush. The excitement and constant stimulation of chaos can be addictive for some. Identity formation. In certain cases, chaos might become part of someone's self-image or identity. Fear of boredom. Some people might actively seek out chaos because they find routine or stability too dull.
So,
I believe all that.
yeah, believe all that.
Yeah, I believe all that. I
Especially
used
when
to
it
say it
comes
all the
to,
time. I used to say it all the time. I work better in a state of chaos than I do a state of calmness. And that's why I said when I moved here, I had to learn how to cohabitate with calmness and peace and quiet because I was so used to chaos all the time.
right.
It became my normal. It was
Yeah.
like I functioned better in it. And then when I moved here, I was scared to death, y'all, because I was like, oh, it's too quiet, it's too calm. Oh, wait a minute. And when I told you, I was asking, do y'all have fire department and all this stuff? Because I was so used to a state of chaos all the time.
Right.
To not hear it, that was like the first time in my life when I moved here was to not experience that for a long period of time. So it was very foreign to me. So I can get that. I understand all that.
Yeah, I did too. I definitely understood it. And it really touched on some of the things we already talked about.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's like you were saying, Shug, when it's too quiet, it's like you're going crazy. You don't know what to do. It's like, damn, like you're going out of your mind because you're so used to always having to figure out something for yourself or for someone else. That it's like like you said, you get accustomed to the chaos. And once you are accustomed to just being instability, craziness, foolishness, then you don't know how to function without it.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
I take it back to my service days. You know, all the, all night, all day, you hear a bomb going off, you hear guns going off all night long. So you get used to it. And then when you come back here, ain't really nothing going on. Like
too quiet.
There you go. It's too quiet. So I got accustomed to the whole chaos that's going on. So I mean, I feel like that can go into it with it too. It's like basically the same with it, because like I really couldn't function without all that noise. But then it turned into it messed with my PTSD.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I can relate to it sexually because when it said it, then I was like, well, yeah, didn't do that. Because I used to like really, really got addicted to angry sex. Like,
Oh, you like that? Give me now. Yeah.
I like for real, for a while I did. Like I was like, I loved pissing them off just to, get that frustration out. Like I would have like just anger and frustration build up, and that was the way to get it off was to piss them
you
off.
like that crazy shit.
I don't know more, but I'm saying I used to. I used to. So I can relate to that because I was like, wow, that's crazy because I did.
You're right.
But you have to start reprogramming your mindset. And that's what, just like me saying that I function better in a state of chaos. I had to start reprogramming my mindset of stop saying and my mouth to stop saying it, stop speaking into existence, because I got to the point where when I moved here, I had to learn how to function on my own, in the peace, quiet. That's why I said I started dating myself and everything else. And so now it's like I embrace the calm, I embrace the peace, I embrace the quiet. So now it's rough on me when I go home sometimes because it's like it's the hustle bustle of the city, and I've known it all my life. And then since I done transitioned here, it's like now when I go home, my anxiety's up, my PTSD is up. I'm just like, it's too much, it's overwhelming, and I'm ready to come back.
You on high alert because you just feel like anything can happen at any time, and you're not used to that anymore. You've changed your way of thinking. You changed your environment.
Yes.
Yeah, I
So it's
get it.
hard for me to go home sometimes because I'm just like, I think about, I mean, everything hits me, the 5-lane traffic, all the street lights, all the city streets and shit, the one ways. And like, that's stuff I don't have to worry about no more down here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I ain't had to
Right.
do it in 11 years. So it's like,
Oh, yeah, it's
yeah,
foreign to you now.
exactly. It's very foreign when I go home. Very.
I get it. That's why people
Sure.
ask me since I moved up here to Raleigh, they like, do you miss Louisville? Do you miss Kentucky? I'm like, no, not yet. No.
Tell a person a minute. Hell no. The only thing I miss is my family. Other than that, nope. Not at all.
Right.
Right.
And then like I said, when it comes back to your childhood experiences, how what type of chaos that basically do on in that environment. So people get accustomed to that,
Yeah.
and just want to live in that type of mindset.
Right.
Because they can't function without it. I'm telling you, it's like
Right.
it's almost like a learned behavior. You've been around it so long that you don't know nothing else. You don't know nothing else. It's probably generational. Everybody before you was going through chaotic BS. You were born into chaotic BS. So now it's like you lived your life in chaotic BS. So now to actually sit down and go somewhere different and do something and learn something different, live different, it's like,
and that just like basically saying it's like their identity. It's an identity form.
Because that is your identity. Because if you're born and raised into things, that is your identity. Because that's who you are. That's how you were taught. That's how you were raised. You were bred that way. So that's what you know. And we are creatures of habit. That's what we see. That's what we know. So in order to go into something different and actually pull yourself out of that environment and go somewhere else, it's like, what the hell? Damn, now you're on your own. You got to learn to love, you know what I'm saying? Do for yourself now, without your friends, without your family. You got to learn to date yourself. Like you said, date yourself, go out. It's like, it's different, especially if you don't know nobody. Because I'm telling you, I will be the first person to be like, I'm not going out. I got friends to be like, I go out and date myself all the time. I'm like, girl, I could never. And then when I moved down here, now, like when I'm on my lunch break, I'll go to the Cheesecake Factory and be like, shit, I don't know what I was talking about. This is cool. This is just me by myself. Peace of mind, baby. I can think. Ain't nobody all in my ear. I ain't got to hear about nobody's problems. I ain't got to hear about no issues. I'm just like, I'm really chill. And I can't wait to just be by myself. I can't wait to date myself. I love it.
It allowed me the opportunity to learn how to rationalize. And I say that because when I was home in a state of chaos, I was just a reactor. I was a fighter and I was a reactor. And so when I moved here, I just learned how to rationalize myself, and so it's like I make decisions different now.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I make them way different now.
And see, like I said, I like me. You say you never done it. You know what I'm saying? Because you remember I used to do it all the time. I go bowling by myself. You know what I'm saying? I go, just do stuff by myself. And it's actually relaxing. It make you, it take your mind off of things. You know what I'm saying?
And
just for a second.
Exactly.
Just for a second. So, but we have to get out of the habit of just always thinking, and also worrying about everybody else.
What people would think, like, oh, they probably staring at me because I'm sitting here by myself. I used to think that. I used to be that. I used to think like that. I'm like, damn, that person everybody ain't sick. Oh my God, I can never. Then when I started doing it, I was like, give me a book. I'll be sitting there eating and clicking away. I'm like, this is my peace of mind.
Shoot, take my little drink or whatever. Shoot, keep going. So
chaos will allow you to pick up other people's baggage too.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Because you're just trying to handle everything on your own all the time. It will literally, on purpose, you will pick up somebody else's baggage.
Exactly.
And not even, it's not intentional, but it's intentional. You're doing it without knowing.
Right, exactly. Because I've seen I've heard my daughter, like, she just moved up here from out of town and she just met a little friend of hers, a little homegirl she's cool with, and the little homegirl's beefing with somebody, and she already like, you should have called me. You don't know these people up in here.
Right.
What are we talking about? I don't know these people. But it's like chaos. It's like drama. That's what you used to back home. So now it's like, I need that. I'm like, nah, sit down somewhere, chill. You came here for a different life. Chill. Do something different. Learn something different. Don't call me. Don't with
text
that
me. None of that.
Yeah. Keep all that. You know what I'm saying? You don't come. Yeah. But like you said, chaos. Used to it. Just getting used to it.
I'm about to play this 15-second video. Something Mickey already said.
Okay.
The definition of insanity, as you all know, is doing the same thing again and again and again and getting a what? Different result, or expecting one. Well, I know a lot of insane people because I see this all the time where we keep doing the same things, want the different result, and don't get it.
Facts.
Definition of insanity. Now, we've been
Yeah.
doing it for years.
Really?
We all do it in our own different way. It's not just relationship. We do all
Yeah.
kind of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, when
That's
it
crazy.
comes to that insanity, it has really
It's open.
everything.
Yeah, it's open. It
Mhm.
could be anything. It could be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Even with people like me, like when I'm working on my weight, I'll lose weight. I'll be like, oh, I'll never do it again. And go do the same thing that got me big in the first place. And be like, what the? I've got to be insane. Because I knew what was going the end result was going to be. But we do it anyway. And it's like, damn, are we crazy? Something like we do the same craziest. It could be anything that you're doing that you continuously do, knowing that it's not going to mean you nothing good.
We
gonna
got
get the
so
same
you
result.
going left rather than go right.
It don't make no sense.
Ooh. And you say that, we can keep talking, because I got a video that says something based almost something like that.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're talking about, you gain weight,
Mm-hmm.
you lose it. That's I'll never get back there, but we go back to the bad habits.
Right back to the bad habits. That's why most people that are overweight or obese that can't lose weight, or when they do lose weight, they go back, and when they go back and gain the weight, they get bigger. It's crazy because I don't know what it is in your mind. I'm speaking for myself. I've changed my eating habits on my own. Something pissed me off, and I changed my eating habits on my own. When I changed my eating habits, I lost almost 50 pounds in about 30 days. It was like 30 days.
It's like 30
crazy.
days. Yeah.
He's my witness. 30 days. And then the crazy part about it was I just changed my eating habits. I cut out certain things, changed my eating habits.
Yeah.
As soon as I started losing weight, you know what I did? Oh shit, I lost weight. I can eat now. I can eat this back now.
You gave yourself a free pass in your mind. You gave yourself a free pass. Yeah, because you said, okay, I lost the weight. It ain't gonna be as easy to pick it up. Let me just go ahead and have this cheat, that cheat, and then next thing you know, you're back in the old habit, the old
back
routine.
in your old habits, and it's crazy. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something a lot of people don't know. For y'all out there who's listening, if you take certain things out of your diet and change them after about a week or two, you won't even crave that shit no more. I'm telling you, I stopped eating grease. I started just baking all my food. I stopped eating chips, chocolate, no soda, no juice. I literally, if I wanted something sweet to drink, I drank a Crystal Light. For breakfast every morning, I ate the same thing. I ate a bunch of fruit. Dropped like crazy because I had taken out the soda. I had taken out the grease. I had taken out the sweets. It can be done. And I know it's kind of hard for me. Like, listen, it's crazy. And we know what to do. It's just not that simple. It's a mind thing. It's not that simple.
A lot of stuff is mostly mind.
It's in your mind.
You know, your mind controls a lot of stuff. If you got it set in your mind that you can't do this or you can't do that, it's that you talk yourself out. And a lot of times, like even when it comes to health, to your health, you can go get checked, and they can do all the, look at you, do all these tests, and nothing wrong with you. But physically, your mind can actually make your body sick. Your mind can actually kill you. You know
Absolutely. That.
The mental is it plays a huge role in your health, period, with your body and stuff. Because you know what? Like, there's sometimes where you have people out here that are walking around that has cancer and everything and never knew it. And then they go in the doctor and the doctor tell them that you have cancer, and then your whole mind trick you into, oh my gosh, I got this now, I'm not gonna make it. It plays a major role in how your health progress is. When I moved up here, I was 410 pounds, and then I went down, and now I'm like 289, and I didn't even know, I didn't even know that I shedded that much until I literally did not know until I went to the doctor, and I was just like, what? And everybody was telling me, and then because of me losing that, first thing I did was, I can have a little snack because I done lost.
I done lost all this weight.
But I will say this, I will tell you this: when you do shed those pounds, and you pick them back up, you could tell the difference.
Oh, you
Like, you
can.
can tell the difference. That
Yeah.
weight will hit different when you
Yes.
start picking it back up and hit different.
'Cause
I
you
got a
gotta
whole
do
chest pie in my kitchen right now, and I love chest pie, y'all. And I'm telling you, I only had one slice out of it, a whole chest pie. And I'm just like, I walk past and I'm just like, nope, ain't doing it.
You
Mhm.
definitely, I know I can tell the difference because, you know,
Mhm.
I'm as heavy as I've ever been. You know, well, I was a little, maybe I'm 170 now. I used to be 180, but for years I couldn't pass 119, 120. You know, and then, you know, all of a sudden I just, you know, I'm 140, 145. Then I got to 160. I'm like, I can tell that I'm out of breath.
Mhm.
And now I can tell that I never used to snore. Never.
Mhm.
I never used to snore. Now
Mhm.
I snore.
Yeah.
You know,
Your body's not used to carrying that weight.
carrying the weight, correct.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's not
and
just
like
that.
I got out the habits that I had, good habits, you
Mhm.
know, running, doing all stuff.
Yeah.
I got good, habits that I was doing. Now I'm just doing bad habits now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even if you're not an exerciser, I'm telling you, what Bless said is correct. You just cut out certain things, and
Right.
it'll make a hell of a difference with the simple things. Like she said, eating fruit in the morning. I started picking up more fruits than I ever pick up because, you know, that's where instead of you drinking a lot of water, you get most of your water from fruits that you eat. So 'cause your body's already 78%, 80% water.
Mhm.
So the water that comes from certain fruits, is healthier for you than just drinking water. You know, there's people that drown themselves from
It
drinking too
is.
much water.
Yeah.
It is absolutely. I
Like,
worked in a nursing home. A woman was drowning herself from drinking too much water. Yes, it's
yes,
very
yes.
true. It's very true.
But it's simple things, like you said, your portions and the things you intake. I've cut down on meat a lot. Like I'm really in like a zone where I'm starting to die off meat a whole lot. So it's just like even something as simple as that.
Yeah.
changes
And
everything.
just
It does.
for everybody to know, you know, 'cause when we talked about the percentage, is 60% out there. 60% of water that we have.
I'm gonna tell you the trick I made. I promise to God, I will tell anybody the secret because I'm about to start doing it myself. Again, I'm gonna tell you exactly how I lost weight. Every single morning for 30 days. I woke up in the morning. I didn't eat after 8, first of all, 8 p.m. Woke up in the morning. I ate 4 slices of bacon. I baked in the oven, 2 boiled eggs. I'm gonna give y'all the secret. 4 slices of bacon, 2 boiled eggs in the oven, nothing fried. Then I would turn around at 5 small meals a day. The second meal would be just me having a slim fast drink or something like that, a shake. The third meal, that was one of my meals. The third meal I would have for lunch. I would stop for lunch and I would go get me one of those little tubs of watermelon. I would eat watermelon because it's mostly water and it's my favorite fruit.
Me too.
My fourth meal, if I didn't have a shake, I would go to Captain D's every day. It sounds crazy, but what I would get is their baked lemon pepper fish. Baked lemon pepper fish. I'm gonna tell y'all.
Why you looking like?
But
because I'm not big on seafood, but I remember when I used to go there, it will always be up on the board.
Yeah,
but you know, I don't eat seafood, but that's one thing I remember.
Right, but that's what I got. And I would not eat the whole piece of fish because it was a long piece of fish. What I would do is I would cut it in half. I would eat that half of lemon pepper baked fish, and I would have a side of green beans. I would eat half my green beans. For my fifth meal, before I went in my last meal, I would take and eat the rest of that half of fish and those green beans was the rest of it. That's what I would have every single freaking day for 30 days. No chocolate, no candy, no chips, no liquor, no soda, water. I had plenty of water. And when I got tired of water, I would drink Crystal Light. When I tell y'all I'm a living witness, I could put pictures up night and day, 50 pounds, 30 days. And that's all I did for 30 days. I promise to God.
So, this video that we got coming up is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. It's a lot in there, so I want y'all to take notes.
Oh shit! Okay.
Right. You got to prepare.
Everybody out there, pay attention to this.
We're giving y'all knowledge today.
Have you ever felt a magnetic pull towards the unpredictable? That strange sense of intrigue when faced with the unknown? Many of us crave stability, yearning for the comfort of routine. But some are drawn to a different rhythm, the chaotic symphony of life lived on the edge. Why do some people choose paths seemingly paved with uncertainty and turmoil? For some, chaos isn't unsettling, it's familiar. It can be a coping mechanism, a shield against deeper-rooted fears. Imagine growing up in a turbulent household. Chaos becomes the norm, even comforting. The predictability of instability, ironically, provides a sense of control in an otherwise uncontrollable environment. Others are energized by the thrill of the unknown. They're wired for novelty, constantly seeking new experiences, even if those experiences come with a degree of risk or instability. This thirst for excitement for some overshadows the potential downsides of a chaotic lifestyle. We live in a world that often glorifies busyness. Hustle culture whispers that we should be constantly on the move, striving for more, achieving more. This relentless pursuit of external validation can lead individuals down chaotic paths, their lives becoming a whirlwind of activity devoid of true meaning. Conversely, societal pressures can also stifle individuality. Those who don't fit the mold, who reject the traditional path, might find themselves labeled as chaotic or rebellious. Their choices, though authentic to their core, are viewed through a lens of judgment rather than understanding. Past experiences, particularly those involving trauma or adversity, can shape our relationship with chaos. Trauma survivors, for instance, may subconsciously recreate chaotic environments, seeking to regain a sense of control they felt they lacked in the past. On the other hand, chaos can be a catalyst for profound personal growth. It forces us to confront our vulnerabilities, to adapt and learn from our experiences. Sometimes it's in the ruins of our carefully constructed plans that we discover our true strength and resilience. We are all drawn to different rhythms in the symphony of life. Some seek the comfort of a steady beat, while others find solace in the unpredictable crescendo. Understanding why some people choose chaos is not about judgment, but about cultivating empathy and recognizing the diverse ways in which we navigate the complexities of the human experience.
That was a lot to take in right there.
That's a lot. It was, but it was a lot of truth too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that we discussed too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
You know what? Some of the things that stick out to me when it was talking about, being busy, how society might want us to just stay busy, keep going, just keep going, don't stop, keep going. That can also put a person in a state of chaos and a state of insanity just with mentally not taking a break of their own, just keep on going, because you have to have a mental, you have to take time, put aside for yourself, just for your own mental, for just to get yourself together. You can't just keep going, society is built for you to just be worker bees, work, and don't just, take time for yourself. And that's one thing that stuck out to me.
See, society for me screams programming.
Facts.
Teaching you how to get accustomed to chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How to be okay with chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You got cities that are just engulfed in people. Louisville was one of them, where it's just engulfing people everywhere. There's always somebody moving and grooving 24/7, and you get accustomed to chaos.
Right.
And that's what society does for you, so that the chaos doesn't seem as heavy when really it's completely insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And you get so used to it that you just function through it like it's nothing, like it's your normal.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think
that he said trauma survivors too.
Exactly. And I was just about to touch on that, because when he said trauma in childhood, you run back toward it because it gives you a sense of control. Because we're so used to trying to fix situations that we sometimes create our own chaos. Just so we can say, oh, I fixed that, or I made it through that, or, you know what I'm saying? I haven't found my breaking point, or I did that, It's almost like a attaboy or attagirl, like you made it through that. But at the end of the day, you're creating your own chaos, and it's not a good thing. But we look at it like we made it, we did it. We got a prize for that. It's not a prize for that. Right. It's not a prize for chaos.
But see, with my trauma and chaos, it came with, if I could control the chaos around me and I could control my trauma, the effects of my trauma. So
Mm-hmm.
that for me, it was like saying, if I could do that, I can control not being appearing to be weak, vulnerable, things
Right.
like that.
That.
All that came with my chaos.
Yes.
Correct.
ma'am.
Because you don't have no control over it at the moment when something is occurring to you that causes trauma. But when you come out of that, you start to come out of that trauma, it's still there. But if you get a sense of that you have control over it, then it eases you a little better. So you
Right.
feel, you know what I'm saying? You feel like
Right.
it eases you better because you have control over how you react with your trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
But in reality, that's not the case. Let me
Right.
tell you something. When you fix your trauma, you got to go back to it to grow from it.
I agree.
You got to go all the way back to it to
I
grow
agree.
from it.
I
You
agree.
do. That's one thing I learned in therapy is that I had to bring it to face value
Mm-hmm.
because I kept it in so long that it almost like you do a mental blockage with it. You do a
Mm-hmm.
mental blockage with it. And so when I started going to therapy and I was able to get, I literally, when I first started out, I literally was like a 5-year-old little girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's like literally I came out of my adult body and went and resorted back to being that little girl that was scared. And
Right.
then nobody talked to and was afraid to talk about it, period. Because I felt like if I talked about it, I was gonna be in trouble.
Right. Right.
So, but then when I came up out of it, it was like I felt a sense of relief. Especially when you talk to somebody who is not going to judge you, who's just there to listen, and who
Mm-hmm.
can give you tools to understand how to work through it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Right.
was the best thing. It was the best thing I ever did in my life. It was the best thing I ever did in my
Okay.
life.
That's what's up.
So,
All
yeah.
right. I'm about to hit this. You got anything else, Miss Bless?
No, I agree with what she said. I mean, when, like us being children and having trauma that we could not control, which was out of our control, it makes you feel
Mhm.
vulnerable. It makes you feel weak. It makes you feel less than.
And so
That
we
is
try
so
to
true.
protect that when we have it as adults. We try to protect it.
And yes, and that's
Wow,
true.
yeah.
And then we become then when they look at us as adults, first thing they want to say is, "Oh, you're angry," or "You're
Mhm.
bitter," or you don't like men. No, it's not
Right.
that. You
You
have
get
to
more
understand
labels.
it's deeper than that. That's all we
Yeah.
get is more labels.
More
Yeah.
labels.
Yeah, you're not happy. You're this. Let me tell you, you don't know what people have been through. You'll
Right.
never know someone's story. And
Right.
everybody has a past, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say one person's story is worse than the next, because to that person that it happened to, in their mind, it's the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Even though you
Right.
hear stories out here and you like, damn, maybe my shit
Mhm.
wasn't as bad as I think, but to that individual, you don't know what they're going through. And until you stop and take the time to ask, don't judge that person and don't call them bitter and don't call them weak and don't call them whatever. Because at the
Right.
end of the day, you don't know what nobody's been through.
Mhm.
Right. And see, my big thing is especially when it comes to trauma and chaos and insanity and stuff like that. You have to put the work in to get out of it.
Mhm.
I
You
feel
do.
like I feel like we as a society, remember, society, like you said, society is basically programming you from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is, like I said, programming and what we all been conditioned to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You have to get out of that. It takes work. You can't just get out of it. You have
Right.
to you have to work for it to get out of it. You have to really want to get out of it, because
Yeah.
most people they don't want to, or they say they don't know how, but they don't take the steps to try to get out of it.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
So we're about to head to the next video.
Okay.
Hey baby, have you ever met a person who, whenever there is some drama or conflict going on, they are always getting involved? They're the first to get involved. They love it. Some people really thrive in chaos. They kind of get a kick out of it. Chaos makes some people feel alive. If someone has grown up in a chaotic household or pretty frantic, household, then it makes sense that when there is a situation that resembles that chaos that they experienced in childhood, it feels familiar because it's what they know. And this person might also be someone who creates conflict and drama in their own friendships and relationships for similar reasons. The key to healing this is recognizing that just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was doing my little research trying to find the videos, you know what I'm learning? Everything leads to your childhood.
But yeah, most parts, yeah.
Everything leads to your childhood.
Because at the end of the day, as a child, sponges. We're like sponges. We listen to everything, even things we shouldn't listen to. We take and we gravitate toward things we're used to. I feel like as a child, you're vulnerable and you want to be protected because that's what we're supposed to be as children, protected.
Right.
But when you're not protected and you're treated like you're less than, or you're, hollered at all the time, you yelled at all the time, you mistreated, you cussed at all the time, you degraded all the time, you being touched when you shouldn't be touched by the people who are supposed to love you and protect you, you have just built that child. So then as we get older and then we start to become what we've been made, then we become all kinds of different things because everybody deals with trauma differently. Some people get promiscuous when they're touched and they start messing with anything that'll move. But then you get some people that don't want to be touched at all. You get some people that's just like, I'll never trust anybody. Don't come near me. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I don't need you. And then that's what some people and some men need to realize, because when they get those women that have been dealt with in a manner they should not have been when they were children, and then we get older and then they say, oh, they're, like I was saying a little while ago, they're bitter or they're nasty or they're too strong or they don't want a man. And no, it ain't that we don't want a man. It's that we had to deal so long with not trusting people and we didn't want nobody around us or whatever the situation may be, that we actually want to do it on our own. Some of us had to do it on our own. So then when you get somebody to come into your life that feels like, hey, now I'm here, I'm the man and I'm going to take over, we looking at you sideways like, no, you're not taking over this, because then we're losing control. I no longer have that control.
I believe some men are like that too. Like they have trauma from their moms and things like that. And so when they have those type of traumas, it's hard for them to function with women out here.
Absolutely.
Because the first woman in their life was their mother.
There you
Just
go.
like the first man in our lives was our fathers. So, I believe that there's men that struggle with that as far as how to deal in relationships with women, certain type of women.
That's fast.
Absolutely.
That's
like
fast. That is real fast. And I said this too, say it can go with this or not, I don't know. But I've said this a couple times, and especially when you're coming into the dating world, I feel like men need to give women grace period. And women need to give men grace period, because at the end of the day, a lot of times women are getting these men from their mothers or from another woman who damaged them. And same thing for the woman.
Vice versa.
She's getting from her father or mother, or she's getting that man's getting her from a man that damaged her.
Yeah.
A lot of times that is true.
Agree.
A lot of times that's true. But here's the thing. You got to take the time to want to get to know somebody and stop trying to date 3 and 4, 5, 6 different people at the same time. Because if you are dating multiple people, I feel like at the same time, then you're not giving that person your genuine self. How can you?
That's called trial and error.
Yeah.
That's called trial and error. It's like, if you got 2 people out here who are damaged in different ways, but they both still damaged, and then they connect with each other through their trauma, and it makes them feel like, oh, I found my best friend because they understand what I went through. And then when they start hurting each other, it's trial and error. Because that's when you have to, big up yourself and realize that this is not healthy for me, because you know what, we just passing each other's trauma back and forth to each other.
That's it.
Right. That's it.
Trauma bonding.
Exactly. And then be damned if y'all have children. Y'all really about to tear them kids up.
Yeah. So I have another video. Well, let me see. We have 2 more videos, but I'm gonna play this one because it's a little long one. And I got these long videos because I mean it is long, but I feel like a lot of stuff, everything that's in there is some true stuff. It's about how people need to get out of it, but also people need to learn. Certain people have been through stuff, and sometimes they don't know how to get out of it. Sometimes they think that is the life they're supposed to be in.
They accept it.
Yes, accept it. Right. And here we go. Now it's 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So everyone out there, be patient.
The human mind is a complex and often contradictory landscape. We strive for reason and logic, yet we are drawn to the inexplicable and the irrational. This paradox is never more evident than when we consider the phenomenon of individuals seemingly choosing insanity. It is crucial to understand that this choice is rarely conscious or deliberate. It is more often a gradual descent, a slow surrender to overwhelming internal and external forces. The term insanity itself is outdated and insensitive, often carrying stigmatizing connotations. However, for the purpose of this exploration, we will use it to encompass experiences often categorized as mental illness, where an individual's thoughts, emotions, and behaviors deviate significantly from societal norms. Rather than viewing these experiences as choices, we must approach them with empathy and understanding, recognizing the multifaceted factors that contribute to their development. Our brains are intricate networks of neurons and synapses susceptible to imbalances and disruptions. Genetic predispositions, chemical imbalances, and traumatic experiences can all contribute to the development of mental health conditions. For some individuals, these conditions manifest as breaks from reality, disordered thinking, or intense emotional states that can feel inescapable. Imagine a computer running multiple programs simultaneously. Now introduce a virus that disrupts the operating system, causing programs to malfunction and data to become corrupted. Similarly, mental health conditions can disrupt the brain's normal functioning, leading to altered perceptions, thoughts, and behaviors. It is not The emotional landscape of someone struggling with mental illness can be a turbulent and painful terrain. Overwhelming anxiety, crushing depression, or relentless paranoia can make reality feel unbearable. In such cases, retreating into a world of delusion or altered perception can become a way of coping, a means of finding temporary refuge from emotional torment. Consider the experience of someone with severe social anxiety. The thought of interacting with others triggers paralyzing fear and self-consciousness. In their mind, constructing a world where they are perpetually alone, while isolating, might offer a sense of safety and control, a way to avoid the perceived threat of social interaction. These emotional escapes, however, come at a cost, further isolating the individual and hindering their ability to engage with the world in a healthy way. While individual vulnerabilities play a significant role in mental health, we cannot underestimate the impact of social factors. Societal stigma surrounding mental illness often prevents individuals from seeking help. Lack of access to affordable mental health care further exacerbates the problem. Imagine a society where physical ailments are met with shame and judgment. Someone with a broken leg is told to snap out of it, while those with cancer are ostracized for their condition. This is the reality faced by many individuals struggling with mental illness. The fear of judgment, discrimination, and social isolation can be so great that they suffer in silence, their conditions worsening without intervention. We must work towards creating a society where mental health is treated with the same urgency and compassion as physical health, where seeking help is seen as a sign of strength, not weakness.
I don't know what happened to Ebony, but what you think about the video? I know it's a lot. It's compact. Maybe.
It was a lot, but I feel like there was a lot of truth to it because social anxiety is a beast. And then it's a lot of people, especially that had a lot of trauma, that definitely have a lot of social anxiety. They don't feel comfortable around people. They find themselves going home, being in their room all the time. They don't want to be around other people. They don't like
Right.
to see other people smile, laugh. They don't like to see them be happy. They actually find reasons to like nitpick and start things with people just because they're not happy within themselves. So I feel like that's a lot of issue right there. And then they find themselves becoming depressed or anxious or all kind of different things people go through just because of social anxiety or just the fact that you're not happy within yourself. That'll make you just, be standoffish with your friends, be standoffish with your family, not want to go anywhere, not want to, you go to a club or go to a party, even if you don't want to, and you might sit in a corner or something with your nose turned up or something. You're just looking for a reason to start some stuff. I feel like a lot of people go through that. You see it all the time in the club.
Oh.
What about the bullies in school? Let's talk about the bullies in middle school, elementary school, high school. 9 times out of 10, a lot of them have been through some things. Most bullies have probably done been touched. Ain't no telling what these people done been through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the truth, because when you're hurt people hurt people.
Facts.
And there's a lot of hurt people. There's a lot of hurt people.
It's a lot
A
of
lot
hurt
of unhealed people out there.
people.
I think the
Absolutely.
scariest thing for everybody is judgment.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. It keep kicking me out, so I don't know what's going on. But I think the biggest fear from everybody is judgment. Like they
Yeah.
are afraid to be judged for what they are going through, experiencing, or whatever. But at the same time, people don't realize it is more of you than what you think.
Absolutely.
There is more of people out here going through similar things, or feelings, emotions, thoughts than you think.
That's
And the
right.
reason why the judgment comes in is because some people fear judgment, therefore they become judgmental.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
That's true. I can see that. I totally can
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
And then people who
Yeah.
don't know, that has never been shown empathy, don't know how to empathize. How
Yeah,
can you give somebody something you've never gotten, or you've never been shown, or you've never had?
exactly. You never experienced it for yourself. Nobody ever empathized
Exactly.
with you, so therefore it turns you into a person where you don't
Say,
empathize with other
Miss
people.
Bless, say that again.
Yeah,
Say that again.
that's
I
that's
said
true. That if
it
you've
is
never
fact.
had anybody empathize with you,
Empathize with you, so you don't
then
know how to
there's no
empathize with
way you
somebody
can
else.
empathize with no one else. That's just like love. I can't stand when everybody's walking around saying, "Oh, I'm in love, I'm in love." Ask them the definition of love. What is love to you? Because love is something different to everybody. Because at the end of the
Everybody.
day, if you've never ever experienced real love, or no one's ever
Then how
really
can you
loved
love
you,
someone else?
how can you love someone else? You don't know what
You
love
can't be.
is.
Yeah,
That
you have
box
to
for
experience
that.
it
Put
for
box.
yourself.
You know that
Yeah,
box for that right there.
yeah, you have to
That was
experience it for
that's
yourself.
heavy. That was heavy.
Exactly.
That was
Exactly.
heavy. And got we're gonna go ahead and hit this last video right here because we getting close, but I'm telling you, I hope someone takes this serious and apply it to themselves, because there's a lot
Yeah,
of stuff you can be learned. It's
Yeah.
I've learned some stuff, because I'm like, wow. When I was looking at the video, I was like, wow. That's like, I might need to think this way, or maneuver this way.
people take a chance on everybody else but themselves.
But
People have got to
yourself.
start taking a chance on themselves. Give
That's
themselves the benefit of doubt,
That's
because
right.
you will find out some things about yourself. You'll be like, wow, I never thought I was capable of doing this, because you never take a chance on yourself. Stop being considerate of people who's not considerate of you. It's
That's
simple.
right. That's
Be
right.
considerate of yourself. Be courteous to yourself.
That's right. I totally
That's-
agree.
So man, get this next video, last video going on.
The definition of insanity is not doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We gotta put that one to bed.
We gotta squash it.
Guys, how many times over the years have you heard,
oh, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result?
that's not true at all. Every day, if you have consistent good habits, you're doing the right things every day, you're eating right, you're exercising, you're getting in the gym, you're going for a walk, you're doing whatever it is, you're doing the things, you're going to work, you're paying the bills, moving up the company ladder, whatever it is, you're treating your partner with respect, you're showing them love, you're showing up every day. Sure, everything gets a little boring. It can all get old or seem like old routine or old hat, as they said, in a bygone day. The truth is, if you're doing the wrong things every day and expecting a different result, yeah, maybe. But on the other hand, If you're doing the wrong things every day, eventually you're going to meet your demise. If you're overspending and undersaving, you're going to go broke. If you're abusing your body every day and show no self-care, not getting rest, you're going to crash. You're going to start to have health problems. If you're treating your partner poorly every day, eventually you're going to wake up and your partner's not there. You're going to have a little Dear John letter to look at. So no, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. If you're doing the right things, have the right habits, the right behaviors in place, you do those over and over, and you're eventually going to have pretty damn good results.
What y'all think about that video?
He's kind
That
of
was just-
contradictory.
Yes,
He-
and that's the
he
reason why.
sounded
That's the
very
reason why. That's the
contradictory.
reason why I got that video, because he was contradictory. Yes.
Yes, he's very contradictory. He could say the reason, the definition of insanity is doing something. Let's get rid of that. But then you're telling them to do the same thing and start repeating other habits over and over again. So it's like you're still saying the same thing. You just using a different.
Just use this word,
and then you said if you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to get bored. What?
Yeah,
and see, as soon as I saw that, I said, you know what, it's going to be. I'm gonna get this video because I caught it right at the beginning. I was like, and that's why I saved it for last.
Because you can't change the definition. A definition is what it is. That is the definition of insanity. How do you get away from it? How do you change what it is? How do you change what it is?
Trying to change the narrative.
He tried to change the narrative, but then he was like, just change this and do this different, and then you'll get different
and then start making new habits every day and
make new habits.
You still doing the same thing. You still making the same choices every day.
Right.
So,
but then he threw in there, and then you're going to get bored. What?
That was my whole plan. See how you got y'all smiling? Yeah. So
that was crazy.
But yeah, this was a good show, y'all. So I just hope someone would just if they see this, watch it, and take something from it. You gotta take everything from it. Take something from it. You know what I'm saying? Because
one step, one go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because in the end of the day, self-care is just the key.
Yeah,
it's very important. And if you have issues, talk to somebody.
Yes.
And
once again, y'all, if y'all have any topics y'all want us to talk about that you don't want to come to at the forefront to, we are definitely going to talk about for y'all. So hit our inboxes. You know what I'm saying? Comment it. Do ever to reach out any way you need to reach out. If you don't want to talk about it, we'll talk about it for y'all. So with that being said, did anyone else have anything to say for to close this out?
Yeah, I have a great night and a peaceful one.
Absolutely. And if anybody out there is having any type of issues mentally, physically, someone's hurting you, you need to talk to somebody, by all means, please get help. Talk to somebody. Anybody, church counselor, best friend, somebody you can trust.
Right. With that being said, the Shoulder Line podcast is signing off. Jurgen.